Good morning. My name is MFeely. I work with the Countryside Conservancy, which is a land trust or land conservation organization in Northeast Pennsylvania. Our counties we work in are Lackawanna, Susquehanna, and Wyoming. To give you a little bit of perspective, the county populations, Lackawanna, which contains the city of Scranton, 210,000. Susquehanna County on the northern tier against the New York State, 41,000. Wyoming County, 28,000. So two quite rural and one slightly more urban county. Our real focus is the Tunkhannock Creek watershed, which is part of the Susquehanna River Basin. I tend to think in terms of watershed boundaries. So it was later in life that I started thinking about municipal boundaries, which leads me to no end of headaches. But I want to, from the perspective of someone who's very interested in land and water conservation, I want to touch on three things. One is sprawl, one is cooperative planning, and one is the Marcellus Shale, which the half of you who are from Lancaster County may not be thinking very hard about right now. Starting with the sprawl question. My home county, I live in Lackawanna County. It has had flat to negative population trends for the past 10 to 20 years. However, as Professor Orfield pointed out, our region continues to consume greenfield sites for new houses at a rate of somewhere between 4 and 6 acres per new home. As the new homes go up in the outlying areas, urban housing is increasingly standing there vacant, and the rate of abandonment is pretty enormous, especially in the city of Scranton. The city's tax base is shrinking, obviously, as we've been hearing all along. The needs for repair and maintenance and support are not by any means shrinking, they're growing. In our region, the cities and boroughs are continuing to show population drops. The second-class townships are growing in population. My take on it is a lot of people are leaping straight from the city into the second-class townships. They're not even stopping in the first-class townships or the boroughs in our case. They're heading out and trying to enjoy a rural quality of life where they are placing a burden on my things of interest, the habitat, the farmland, the forest, the wetlands, the wildlife. And I think my conservancy was founded in part to concerns over sprawl. I think many land trusts around the state were developed in response to this perception of where these people come from and what are they doing on our farmland. About multi-municipal planning, the 2003 Brookings report identified weak planning and a failure to cooperatively plan as one cause of the state's problems, specifically Northeast PA problems. In the Scranton area, a group of 11 municipalities, including the city of Scranton, 4 boroughs, and 6 second-class townships, started working together around 2005 to develop a multi-municipal comprehensive plan. Our planning area contains every community type from established city to rural township, so we feel it's pretty well designed to supply favorable sites for all types of land uses, from areas to keep rural to urban areas to revitalize. Our goals as a group included just that: keep the green areas green and redirect new development back downtown where the infrastructure is. On the whole, the group has worked very well together. We have drafted a comprehensive plan. It's been adopted by 9 of the communities. 1 of the rural communities opted out, and we are working to see if we can convince the city of Scranton to get in. That's where it stands now. I feel the multi-municipal process has been the cooperative planning process has been very helpful. The people who are coming to the table really care, and I'm optimistic that we will get the city in and we will start implementing this plan soon. Finally, I want to touch on the Marcellus Shale, the natural gas phenomenon you may have heard about. For 4 years now, I've been spending a lot of time on Marcellus issues: geology, engineering, law, leasing, environmental issues. What is the power of a local municipality to control drilling activities? What about eminent domain and pipelines? I never thought I'd be thinking about any of this stuff 5 years ago. But guess what? It came to our region. Now, of our 2 rural counties, Susquehanna and Wyoming, most of the acreage has been leased to an energy company. This has effectively halted our ability as a land trust to place protective easements on a lot of those properties or to acquire land for conservation. A lot of landowners, even the ones who are conservation-minded, have signed leases due to fear, greed, family pressure, neighbor pressure, and most of those leases they've signed are very favorable to the energy company, not to the landowner. Many of those landowners are now sort of getting hangovers from the leases they signed, and people who haven't signed in their neighborhood are exposed to the same environmental and social impacts of this new gas industry, as the people who did sign. I just don't think there's any way to halt Marcellus development, and you may not want to, but we definitely need to manage and regulate the extraction process carefully and ensure that a reasonable proportion of the money earned goes to local landowners, local communities, and environmental protection. Thank you.